Hey, welcome to episode 35 of the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast with Iona, just soul sister Iona. So welcome to my spiritual journal with me. I have in my hand my Soul Legacy Journal notebook where I share with you what I do with my spiritual routines and rituals. And so today is what I call financial freedom Sunday. And so in my notebook, in my journal, if you're watching in the SoulLegacyAcademy.com, then you'll be familiar with this. But if you are new to me, this is, I call it 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. And I say it's a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So if you have ever had a spiritual awakening and you are a light worker and you have a soul-based business and you really want to get it out there and you really want to touch people, I believe that for me anyway, starting my spiritual business came from just being awakened to my gifts, awakened to my message, awakened to my movement that is inside of me. But part of the whole dance of this soul path that I've been traveling is just having balance in my light work and not being busy and not being broke. And so that's what I want for you. A lot of times as light workers, we kind of make this journey feel a little bit harder than what it needs to be, not on purpose, but we do. And so the spiritual awakening and the dark night of the soul is tough anyway. And I wanted to rebuild my life after multiple spiritual awakenings. And so let me know what avenue your spiritual awakening was triggered from. One of them for me, I took on the SoulLegacy TV all of the time, about grief and loss being one of the things, also my purpose, but financially, I was bankrupt, right? And so I was homeless and I had my home repossessed and I went for a really messy divorce, which covers relationship and environment and my finances and my purpose, and I'd left my soul-sucking day job and all of that. Do you know what I mean? My work, my light work, because I was working with children at the time. A lot of different areas were hit at one point. But financial freedom for me, having my soul-based business as a light worker, making my difference in the world, it's not my driving factor. I know it's not your driving factor. However, if we think of having balance and harmony, not being busy, not being broke, and not being burnt out, money's a factor. Money's a factor on this earthly plane. A lot of people want to opt out of that. And I remember being at T. Harv Eker's Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar when I was homeless, when I was going for a really messy divorce. Went for a soul-sucking day job to pay for my room at the homeless place while my home was being repossessed. Going on this journey, I went through a 3-day seminar. So I went from the homeless place to this seminar. I'd looked up T. Harv Eker. I wanted to go see him when he was out in I thought he was out in the States. I didn't know he came to the UK at that time. I don't know whether it was new. Back then it was 2012. And it was September 2012, and I went from the homeless place to a hostel in London because I couldn't afford a hotel. Now it's like quite cool to go into hostels and go and travel around the world, but when you have to, because you've come out of a homeless place, it kind of sucks. So I got these tickets and I went for the weekend to the Millionaire Mind Intensive. And I remember sharing my story of where I was, and people saying, I can see you on the stage just telling your story. I was like, hell no, I will never do that. And now that is exactly what I plan to do. People were putting that into me over the years. But at the time when I went to the Millionaire Mind, I had no clue. When they started to do the maths and the numbers for business, I was just like horrified. My page was blank. When everybody else was doing these maths for business, I was like, what? Now on the as part of this journey and the financial freedom journey, I have a spiritual biz YouTubers masterclass, and it's called Bank 50K in 50 days. And so I'm so okay with receiving that money now that I actually help you do the maths. So that's where my journey started, with the money and being okay with having both. At that seminar, I was like, I made a vow to figure it out. And I also made a vow to never let anybody be outpriced with my services. who needed my help, because that is when I needed the help most, and I felt outpriced by all the gurus, and I was just like, really, like I really needed some help. So this Soul Legacy journal, as part of my spiritual routines and rituals, and doing my journaling practice, if you are familiar with the Soul Legacy TV, what I share is getting that light work and lifestyle balance in every single area of your life. You could imagine going through what I've gone through, which is just a snippet of what I've just shared. I wanted to rebuild my life, and I've done that several times over. And so I talk about being in alignment with the vibrational money first, and then doing it in the physical world, because when we're not in alignment, it kind of just feels a little bit weird. It doesn't really fit us, and we resist it and we repel it, and we don't know if we can give that value, right? So the Soul Legacy Journal gives you, I'm going to do this first. I usually leave it to the end, but because it's Financial Freedom Sunday, I want to share with you one of the spiritual rituals and routines that I do on a daily basis and then a weekly basis on the Soul Legacy TV. So that is the Soul Income Game, I call it. I had to make it a game because just focusing on the money just didn't sit right with me. So I was like, okay, this is the level of contribution. And I do this maths. If you've ever been on a call with me in the Soul Legacy Academy, I have a 2-hour monthly call coaching on this, on each area of your life as well, called the 7 Freedoms Call. It's a bonus gift for my my boot campers. So I wanted that lifestyle and light work balance. So I teach that, the maths. So I had to make it a game, because I was just like, I show up, speak out, and serve deep. But I wanted to align my movement and my message with the money that I wanted to earn, and I needed to earn it in order to rebuild and own my own home again, because I'd lost my home, it was repossessed, I was bankrupt, and all that stuff. Try to turn around and drag your kids through that. I was just like, enough's enough. So the Soul Income Game, and there's rules around it. As part of your spiritual rituals and routines, I give you $1,000, pounds or euros, wherever you are in the world, and this Bank 50k in 50 days challenge. And the challenge is over the next 50 days, or if you've been with me, you've been doing it, continue on for 50 days of spending vibrational money. Now, I was inspired by Abraham and Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham Hicks, in the book Ask and It Is Given. And they have a prosperity game. And so they give you $1,000, then 2,000 on the next day if you play it, and continue to play it on day 5, you get 5,000. And then on day 50, you get 50,000. On day 300, you get 300,000 to spend on that day. And if you did it for a year, you'd end up spending 66 million. And I was just like, that doesn't feel good to me. It feels, I wanted to learn how to manage my money through the Millionaire Mind Intensive. When I went, T. Harv Eker talks about in his book the prosperity jars, or financial freedom jars. Are they prosperity jars? I can't remember. And he talks about tithing, and he talks about savings, long-term saving, and play money and necessities. And he has these jars that you split your money up into, and that's supposed to be able to help you manage your money. And then there's another book which I listened to today called Prosperity Consciousness by Frederick Lerman. He says this book is how to tap into your unlimited wealth. Now, he does something similar to the Soul Income Game. Well, I'd listened to his cassette tapes, and I didn't realize that, like, over a decade on, I'd actually created the game that's similar to his game. So you try on spending the money. He's like, when you spend the money in 24 hours, what would you spend it on? And this can be like, oh yeah, there's nothing to it. When you actually do it, you actually think of money in a very different way, and how would you use it? Because you're like, oh, I don't need the money, but there's lots of experiences that you want to have in life that cost money. So we do this, and I give you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day for 50 days, and you decide what you want to spend it on, right? And so you can, so I put some rules around the game. You can't spend it on bills, right? Because you want to come from the feeling of your bills are already paid. You cannot save it like in a banking saving it, but you can carry over the remaining balance of whatever you don't spend every single day. And the final thing is to tithe. 10% every single day to a worthy cause. And the worthy cause that I tithe to is called Cruise Bereavement Care. I dedicate my soul work to my son, Daniel Samuel Mead, who made his transition almost 7 years ago now. And so that's where I tithe. So I have 900 every single day. I decided when I first did this game, I did it with my twin flame. We're not in union now, but we did it and we had so much fun doing it. So I suggest doing it with a partner. Now I'm doing it with my lead soul guided instructor, Robin Knott of the Energy Healing TV and podcast. And it's just fun. Robin's been saying on her YouTube channel just what she's been manifesting and the journey and the feeling of it. It's really cool. So let me know if you're in Soul Legacy Academy, come to the call and let me know how you find it. So we spend this money. I decided to spend my money on a Sunday rather than spending it every day. So when my twin flame and I did it, we were like, well, he was spending and I was like, oh no, I forgot to spend my money today. And I was feeling guilty about not spending the money. I was like, this is stupid. That's not the idea. And then it's like, oh, and then we put together sometimes and we bought something even bigger. And then then we had this like, well, okay, we can carry it over for the week, but you have to spend it on Financial Freedom Sunday. And if you don't spend it, you'll lose it. So Robin Knott will tell you that she lost it a couple of weeks in or a week in or something. She lost it. And I was like, you snooze, you lose. So you use it or you lose it. So she uses it now. So I've spent my vibrational money voucher today and I just bought a holiday to Canada to Niagara Falls, and I'm just like, oh wow. And I did it for an entire month and there's 2 of us going, and I've looked at all of the I've been looking at hire cars and different things, and I was like, okay, well, I'll add the hire car next week because I don't have to add it right now. I can add that to my booking and what it includes and what the hotel's like and what's, where it's located and what I will do there and all of the things. So I'll add to it in the week. But the idea is to really celebrate, and the universe, your body doesn't know, your mind doesn't know the difference between, yes, I've looked at this vacation. If anybody knows me, they know that I want to go to Canada. And for the longest time, not because I couldn't, just because it's like I want to buy a home there. I was like, let me check out Canada, let me travel around Canada, do all the things. And so Canada is on my spiritual vision board. So I have a 7-day spiritual vision board challenge, which I do annually. There's a replay on the Soul Legacy TV if you haven't seen it. And if you're in the SoulLegacyAcademy.com, which I'm the founder of, then you'll see it. I've put it in so many different places, but in the 7 Freedoms Frequency online training portal, along with the 2-hour monthly calls, it's in there. And so I do it annually every December, on the 2nd week of December at 7:30 p.m. UK time. So you can come and join me, click a reminder. It's in the playlist. It's all scheduled out. I love it. So that spiritual vision board has experiences for me, and it has Canada on there. So I'm like, yes. So the idea is to feel the feeling of what it would feel like without having the risk of, if you've got money blocks or money stories, without having the story attached to it, because it's safe, because the Soul Legacy Journal is helping you to launch, lead, and leave your soul legacy with ease, grace, and flow in your soul-based business, and celebrate and just come out from that icky energy of, oh, my business isn't going very well. I don't have any clients. I don't have any cash. I don't have this. I don't have that. You actually do now. So as a coach, as your mentor on the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast, this is what we do as part of our spiritual routines and rituals, so that every single area of our life feels really good. So let me know how that feels. I love it. So I wanted to start there because on Friday I forgot about doing it. I was like, oh no, I forgot. Came offline. But this is every single day, so you can journal about it, write down the description of it, write down the idea is to spend the money, but actually go and do the experiences that are on your vision board before they actually manifest, the feeling of it, finding out about it. If you had the money, you would go and look up the flight and the holiday and the hotel, and decide who was going to go with you, and the luggage and do you know what I mean? The clothes that you would wear, and you'd book the date and you'd schedule out your calendar, all of the things. You want to do those actions first. So Abraham Hicks, they do it, and Frederick Lerman does it in the Prosperity Consciousness. I think it's just an amazing game. So hopefully you'll enjoy the Soul Income game bank 50k in 50 days. If you want to build a spiritual business, a soul-based business, and align your movement, your message, and your money, I have the Spiritual Biz YouTubers masterclass. I will leave the link down for you in the description, and I will pin it to the comments. And if it's not pinned in the comments, it will definitely be in the description for that masterclass. And it's bank 50k in 50 days. So we've just done it in the visible world, and you can journal about it. We want to do it in the visible world. So you don't just want this financial freedom to just be vibrational. On a Sunday, come and join me. You can watch the replay. I do it live once a month on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. It's a 4-hour training where we dive really, really deep. Robin's always saying it's amazing. It's a teaching that I've done for years, and everything on it, I actually practice what I preach. I love it. So I'd love for you to join me. There's bonus gifts for you. There's a roadmap and a framework for a one-page business plan. I know that many people come to me and they don't have structure. It's like, what will I do? Don't have structure around the pricing, don't have structure around your soul signature system. I give you all of that. I give you ideas for marketing with a YouTube channel, with videos. Everything is laid out there for you. I have my YouTube Soul Tribe income attraction model as another bonus, like a bio of saying who it is that you help, what it is that you do, and who it is that you serve. A lot of people don't have that. It's like a little statement there, and I help you. It's a 3-part audio. And then I also have a cheat sheet, and the cheat sheet is basically my soul signature system, the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint. It's each of the steps that I walk my students through. And if you've got those steps, you're good to go. And if you don't have those steps, then I can support you in my 12-week bootcamp. So I talk about building your author and authority platform on video, just the way that I am. And with my masterclass comes a free chapter of my book. It's called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influencer's compass to leveraging your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. Everything I do is leverage. So you want to leverage your time, money, and energy, and actually visualize yourself really making a difference in the world. Get a handle on the back end of your business. So not only are we doing it in the vibrational world, but we're doing it in the visible world, and we're matching you, we're aligning you, and then we're automating your business. Because when you think of that much money, banking 50k in 50 days, every 50 days or 4 times in a year, whatever, there's some people like, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of people to work with. But I actually show you how to work one-to-many with your high-paying soul clients. And so I have 3 tiers in your business, but I teach you at least 5 soul client income streams that are 2 are passive, 1 is active, which is a higher price point, and then 2 are leveraged, depending on what you want to do. So what you see here is what I do. I love. It's taken me years to do that. Usually you're taught to launch once a year or twice a year and be burnt out and be busy. And oftentimes it doesn't actually work, and you open the doors and close the doors and then nobody's with you, which doesn't really give you that financial freedom. One of the things that I love for you to do, invite you to do on a Sunday as well, is look back through your bank account, whether that's on your phone, whether that's on your computer, your tablet, your laptop, and have a look at what you've spent for this last week and what is coming in. And if whatever you've spent, you're managing, where did you spend it? What area of your life did you spend it on? Did you need it? And what do you have coming in? And is it balancing out for your lifestyle? And is it balancing out for your light work? So I invite you to do that. That was a lot. So with this whole spiritual journey with me, with the spiritual routines and rituals that we focus on every single day, what we do is focus on your contribution freedom, which is on a Monday, which is now tomorrow. And so how you want to contribute. So I'd love for you to join me on a Monday and connect your finances. I like to think of it as how much do you want to contribute, or who to, what business model do you want to have, and how much finances, and we meet the two. We do the maths to marry the two so that you are serving and you're actually charging what you're worth, you're getting paid, you're actually ready to receive when somebody comes to you. If you come to me, you can sign up for my 5-day YouTube from Scratch challenge. You can have a preview on the Soul Legacy TV, on the Soul Legacy Academy, sorry, it's $55, right? You can have a preview, you can come to my masterclass, you can come to my boot camp, it's $555. If you bring in I call it a Soul Accountability Body student, a SAB for short, then, and you pay in full, and I'll knock $55 off, it's $500. And so you can split the cost and pay $250. The reason why is because it's it's passive income, right? For me, and you can go sign up at any point. The 5-day challenge, the Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch challenge, it's a 5-day, I call it a fast track movement marketing model, which I love it, and people love it that go through it, that actually get to the end of it as well. And that will deliver every day over the next 5 days from when you start. And then the boot camp will deliver over 12 weeks from when you start. It is self-study. So you go at your own pace. Excuse me. Oftentimes people come and they go, oh gosh, I'm behind. You can't be behind in my challenges or my work. You go at your own pace. If you want my support, there's an upgrade of $111, either for the boot camp or the 5-day challenge. And so it's the same office hours, Q&A, and I run that from October through to April, and it's all scheduled out for the next 7 years. So that passive income is really there in the Soul Legacy Academy, and the passive income for the bootcamp is already there in the Soul Legacy Academy. And then the leveraged income of the Q&A, which is $111. So either way, whichever one you're in, or if you've done both, you can come and get Q&A from me. I only go live with that Q&A October through to April. So the first week in October at 7:30 p.m. UK time, Monday to Friday, I will be live with it, and you can come and you can get Q&A. Again, it's leveraged, it's scheduled out. So as many people as want to sign up, your friend, whoever you want to refer, and you do that challenge, go for it for the 5-day challenge. Go for it for the boot camp. And for boot campers, I actually have a co-author book series called the Soul Legacy Journal, similar to this, and it's Spiritual Awakening Stories of 365. So I gift you that co-author book series. Spot in there if you're a soul match. I give you loads of bonus gifts. I give you the 7 Freedoms monthly calls, which is $77 per month. If you don't want that, but if you do, then it's in. So that's the $55 challenge, the 12-week bootcamp, which is $555, the upgrade of $111, and the $77 a month 7 Freedoms frequency call. That call happens on the first Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time, I believe, either 3 or 5, 3. And then the next level is my mastermind, which is $55.55. And so there's 1 year access, 2 years access, or 3 years access. So that's 5, and I'm just here, and they're all one to many or passive. So the active income is the mastermind, which is the 2 middle Tuesdays and Thursdays of the month at 5 a.m. UK time to 5 p.m. UK time. No, 5 a.m. sorry, UK time to 10 a.m. UK time. And then 5 p.m. UK time to 10 p.m. UK time. Did I say that right? So 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., a 5-hour block, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., 5-hour block, 4 days in the month. So I show up, speak out, and serve deep in those 5 ways and more, right? In the book and the journal. So I love it. So when you think of financial freedom and you think, I could never do that, or I can never charge that, I will have a retreat. I'll have a virtual retreat and an in-person retreat. For Masterminders will get an offer for that. I love it. And it's all scheduled out for the next 7 years. So whenever you are watching, well, probably and beyond. So whenever you are watching this episode, it's there. So I built a business, a spiritual YouTube business around my YouTube channel, my spiritual YouTube channel, because I wanted, and that's what I teach, because I wanted to have a way that's not this launch once a year. It was this evergreen experience. And I made a vow to never let anybody be outpriced who needed my services. So that's where the $55 challenge comes in. And if you leave a review for that, you get a live round to my movement marketing media kit challenge. And so that happens on the 3rd week of September annually. You'll get live into that. I've done it on Zoom, and there's a replay of that on the Soul Legacy TV. There isn't right now, but there will be. So I just love it, right? There's ways to monetize your calling, monetize your gifts, and have that financial freedom. And the reason why I say bank 50K in 50 days is because with that model, $55, 555, and the 5,555, we do the maths. So if you were to say, oh, I just want to charge $55 and you wanted to make 50K, you'd have to sell 900 of those, right? But that's fine. You could run YouTube ads, and that's fine. If you want to make 50K with, say, the middle tier, which your numbers will be whatever that you want them to be, you bring the spirituality into the maths and the vibration so it feels really good. You do your angel numbers. So if it's 22 or 33 or 444, whatever. With the boot camp, which is $550, that's 90. Sell 90 of those, that's 50K. Lots of people, lots of light workers don't do the maths. Do you do the maths, right? And then for the 5,555, that's 9 to make 50K. So when you see people say, oh, I made like 100 grand, I hit 100K, blah, 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 whatever, it's, or 10K months or whatever it is, it's because they've done the maths, and it's trendy to say 10K months. It's trendy to say 100,000. I have students that come to me and fill out my intake forms that say 20K is great, 50K is great. Some people say 100K. The common one is 100K, but I think I'm talking really fast. I think that is because there's a trend, right? People say 200,000, 300,000, whatever. I started this journey, and the 50K came from me wanting to make $600,000 per year minimum. Bear in mind that I'm in the UK, so dollars doesn't translate that into pounds, right? So that's why I did that bank 50K in 50 days. So hopefully you'll enjoy that, and you'll bring the spiritual nature into this. So on the Soul Legacy TV, I talk about not just the financial freedom, I talk about how you want to contribute into the world, as I was saying on a Monday. On Tuesday, I talk about health freedom, the health freedom frequency. On Wednesday, I talk about emotional freedom. Thursday, I talk about environmental freedom. Relationship freedom is on a Friday, spiritual freedom is on a Saturday, and financial freedom is on a Sunday. So each area of your life, you've got no excuse. You've got a mentor and you've got a coach. I will coach you when you come on to the to our monthly call. If you are part of my bootcamp, I bonus that in. If not, you can come here and get some support, right? So we journal out, and we create our vision board first, and then we journal every single day together. I go live. And we talk about each area of your life, because finances is impacting each area of your life, whether that's your light work and your lifestyle for contribution. So if you ever wanted to think, oh, well, where is my soul tribe hanging out? How can I reach my soul tribe? I am going to be going hard with YouTube ads, and you need money for that, right? I'll talk about it all day long. Some people want assistants. Some people want social media managers. Some people want all the things. What is it that you want that will help and support you? Health-wise, what do you want to eat? What do you want to do? You want a chef? Do you eat really well? Do you have the finances to eat organic? Do you have the money to go out and eat in nice places, to have somebody, cook for you? Do you know what I mean? Like, and physical health, mental health, emotional health, to hire someone to help you. What are you saying no to for your health? Do you need to go private care, healthcare, whatever? Are you saying no because of the money? Your emotions, are you worried? Are you stressed? Are you doubting yourself? Do you really need some help? Do you wish you could hire a bunch of coaches? Do you wish that you could come in my mastermind, right? And you're like, oh, I don't have the money for that. Like, you don't want the money to be worrying and stressing you out. And I rated my vibrational frequency today as part of the emotion, how you feel, how you're vibing, how you're connected to your higher self. And I rated between a 1 and 11. We don't do a 0 because you're breathing. 11 is high vibe and connected to your higher self. And so I did 10 today. And really, for me, it is probably an 11. But because I paused my business and was working on the back end, I'm in the process. I'm not as high as what I could be. So I gave myself the rating a little one lower, just to be in in alignment and more authentic with it. But really, I just feel I'm not worried about money. I don't have as much as what I could have right now because I've made choices to pause, to go back in, do the back end of my business, to go back out again. And so you might do that and you might feel like, oh gosh, you know, you're not where you want to be. Does that affect you emotionally? Do you feel down about it? I actually don't. It's an intentional choice. Your environment is money, finances, affecting your environment, where you work in your home, if you work at home, where you travel to, what your home looks like, what location you're in, how you can contribute to the environment, who is in your environment, all of the things of your environment, what you wear, what you dress, all the things. Relationships, for you think, oh, I don't need money. It's great to be able to finance things, whether that is with a VA or whether that's a team around you, hiring a team, whether that's, you know, treating your family, going on date nights, you know, gifting, tithing, doing all the things with your family. Excuse me, it does impact. People fight. The biggest, like, divorce rate contender in one of the biggest is money, right? Spirituality, spiritual freedom. When you are stressed and disconnected, that impacts you on a spiritual level. Yesterday I was talking about spiritual energy of the heart, and so there's a lot of stuff that happens regarding, like, I was bankrupt, right? I was homeless, had my home repossessed, I went through a really messy divorce. A lot of that could be dealt with by finances. So the financial freedom, what do you have coming in, what do you want to have coming in, and let's marry the two and actually do really well in every single area of your life. So I talk about vision every single day. I kind of give you my vision. What's your vision for your financial freedom? What's the amount of money that you have? I've done the money voucher, that, and I talk about values. Doing the money voucher is helping me to be in alignment with my values. I'm not driven by the money, but I know that I have to have both. I'm not okay to have one or the other, right? Not okay to go after contributing. I'm not okay to just go after the financial freedom. I wanted to have both and everything else in between. And I want that for you as well. So that's my North Star values that lead me to be in integrity. I did not want to go out there and build a list and say the money's in the list. I wanted to build a legacy. So every single day I talk about gratitude. This is a gratitude stone that my daughter gave me. It's a love heart. And so I'll say gratitude for each of those 7 areas, the 7 freedoms frequencies for intentional living, I say. And all of this isn't me being intentional, setting soul intentions and living intentionally and looking at the world through the lens of my soul. And just because you're looking at the world through the lens of your soul doesn't mean to say that it's you have to be broke. And so we say gratitude for contribution, health, emotion, environment, relationships, spirituality, and finances, right? Whatever level you've got, say thank you. Whether it's directly coming through money or an experience or somebody's gifted you something, whatever it is, and say thank you for past experiences, present experiences, and predicted in the future, like a thanks in advance. We do that as part of our spiritual rituals and routines. I love it. The book that I read today, I only listened to a little bit, The Prosperity Consciousness by Frederick Lerman, how to tap your unlimited wealth. It talks about practice talking and seeing ourselves without resistance in that new way. So my spiritual vision board helps with that. The chakra for today is Robin Nutt of the Energy Healing TV podcast talks about energy healing, and she walks us through our chakras. She's got a 7-day challenge on unblocking your chakras, and that's there on replay. She will do it live annually as well. And Robin also she's the lead soul guided instructor for the Soul Legacy Academy and the Spiritual Biz YouTube network. So she has a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge right now. She's about to do it live in about a week or so, and then she'll have it on replay on self-study for you. That's amazing. So if you have stuff going on with your financial freedom and you have like icky energy and all the money stories, then hit Robin up. It's the Energy Healing TV and podcast by Robin Nutt. So you'll see her. I'm subscribed to her. So go to my channels for subscriptions and you'll see her on there. So the chakra for today is the crown chakra. She walks you through all the chakras and the clearing. She's got an actual clearing chakra assessment, which is a gift to you right now. I don't think it will always be. So get it if you can. And then Robin was a Reiki master teacher, so she talks about Reiki. We're both talking about Reiki and Reiki money and stuff. So the chakra is a crown chakra, which focuses on clarity and hang on, let me see, visualization, clarity, focus, and visualization. And the crystal for that, I bought a bag of crystals, chakra crystals, is a clear quartz crystal, which Robin suggested for me. So I really appreciate that, Robin. Thank you. I've been doing my meditation. I didn't do it today, actually. I've done it every other day. Sunday, I decided to have a lazy day. I'm going to pull a card from the Keepers of the Light in just a second and wrap up this. But there's a quote that I want to leave you with. So this is a quote by Franklin D. Roosevelt. I get this off my Momentum app every single day. I love it. So it's not me. It says, you don't have to be cruel to be tough. You don't have to be cruel to be tough. And today I saw something which I thought was, I'm known for tough love, right? That's the way I coach. And I saw something or someone that had unfriended me on Facebook, and I was like, oh, and this was a student and a soul sister and all the things. I'm like, oh, that energy. And I'm like, you don't have to be cruel to be tough. And so I'm not cruel. I have tough love. And sometimes when you have finances and you are reaching out to people, humans are the most difficult, aren't they? So when you're reaching out to humans and you're working with humans and you're just like, you can't manage humans, you just do your best. And so sometimes people have a fear of judgment, they have a fear of failure, they have even a fear of success. And what I want to say, that when you do your light work out in the world and you do your best, it's good enough. And if you have people that just have their own stuff and people who have their own, just their own journey to follow, sometimes people do things and it's like, oh, it can be really hurtful. And whether that's like soul family, whether that's subscribers, people unsubscribing, people do, it doesn't matter. It's your journey. You do your best. You serve. There's people that come to me on my intake form. They'll say, so I have a free VIP day. It's a free chapter VIP day from that goes with my book. So you're welcome to come onto that to start, structure and grow your spiritual business online with a spiritual book, with a spiritual book launch. And lots of people want to do that, but lots of people don't want to follow through. And I'm very tough love. I'm not cruel. I don't mean to be cruel. I'm very tough love. And sometimes people drop off. People don't want to rise and reside at that Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. It's like, it feels uncomfortable. So if you ever experience that, like people say to me, I don't know if I can bring the value on my intake form. I don't know if I can serve. I don't know if I see my value. And when things like that happen, it can easily knock you off. I was like, what? That makes no sense. I don't even necessarily send you love. I just don't need to send you anything. I'm just neutral on it. But I won't take that energy into my energy field. That makes sense. So I just wanted to say that on financial freedom, because I know that lots of people have issues with either getting clients, feeling like they've got nitpicky clients, or they've got like, and it feels like a job, or do you know what I mean? Resisting going out there and getting more clients or reaching out to people for fear of whatever it is. And so I invite you to just let it go and journal about it. Excuse me. So this is Keepers of the Light. We're going to wrap up with this. This dude is called, look at his name. He's called, it's Deval Cool. Can you see how that's spelled? Hang on. I'm like, I can't pronounce these names. They're doing it on purpose. So Dharma unfolding. Yes, Dharma unfolding. So I got this card today. So it's for me, and I pull it with Keepers of the Light for you, right? So it says, remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. Nothing can shape the happiness, only I can, right? Whatever you see out in the world, I talked about this on Spiritual Freedom yesterday, that keep your heart open. My heart is still open. That could be an impression on my heart, which it would have been at one point, and it's not. I'm like, no, my heart's open. I tell my heart to stay open. So about this card, about Deval Kul, known as the Tibetan, in the Tibetan Buddhist, is a Tibetan Buddhist master. He is said to have had many incarnations, including a devotee to Buddha himself, as one of the three wise men, and of one of the three wise men who honored the baby Jesus. Through his earthly experience, he has learned the importance of spiritual practice and discipline, and knows that path we are on unfolds over time. He is now helping light workers follow their Dharma, which is the Sanskrit word for right way living. So this intentional living is just the right way of living, what feels right to you. I love it. I love it. It's just the best download ever for me. Again, if you're watching in the Soul Legacy Academy, jump on to our monthly call and I'll support you. When Deval Kul appears, I had to look again, see how I pronounce it, appears in a reading, he reminds you that your path is unfolding as it should. So whether people bounce out of your world, I use that protection. No, I don't use a protection. People tell me to use a protection. I'm like, dude, it's already taken care of. If something is not for me, they will bounce out of my world. And that's what I saw. I was like, oh, you bounced yourself out of my world. That okay. Like, I don't need to do it. It happens for me. The path is unfolding as it should. Take one step at a time and remember that your only spiritual function is to be happy. Whatever makes you happy, you do. Whatever makes other people happy, let them do. Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful. It's okay. You are a powerful person with many lessons under your belt and a real capacity to share your wisdom with the world. Can I get an amen? Take the time to go over what you've learned recently. Recognize the strengths it has brought you, and acknowledge where you've been courageous. Absolutely. Deval Kul is now working with your angel guides to help your journey unfold like the beautiful lotus of a flower, one petal at a time. How amazing is that? That is pretty cool, right? That is pretty cool. So thank you so much for sitting out this episode with me. I really do appreciate it. I love you. I think you're amazing. Thank you for taking the time to think about your financial freedom frequency, because the lower vibrations of having all of those money blocks and all of that fear is just nonsense. Just put it away, it's nonsense. Just let it go. So I shall see you on the next episode. This is Iona, your soul sister, signing off. I'll speak to you soon. Big love. Take care.